Hello and welcome to this Spirit Kings video in Mogu'shan Vaults. This fight you'll be fighting against 4 Spirit Kings, and the first one we go up against is Koyang the Merciless. His first ability you're seeing is called Annihilation. It's a conal ability in front of him, and you must exit that dust cloud, otherwise you'll take 1.5 million damage and it will kill you. His second ability is called Flanking Orders, and he'll have Mogu warriors spawn and flank across the circle, doing damage to anyone in front of them. They don't move very fast, so they're pretty easy to dodge. His third ability is Massive Attacks. This is mainly for the tanks to worry about. He will do a massive attack and it will deal 800,000 damage, but it is split to anyone that takes the damage. So you do not want just one tank absorbing that, because they will die. There he's doing Flanking Orders again. Not too hard to dodge. The massive attacks are being split among all the melee, I believe. Now he's doing Annihilation. There's the dust cloud. And when he dies, one ability retains throughout the fight, and his ability is Flanking Orders. So even though he dies, Flanking Orders will still happen throughout the fight. Once he died, then we fought Supatai the Swift, and one of his main abilities is that he will charge a random player and anybody within 8 yards of that person, and he will steal all of their possessions. So this decreases their healing done and damage, or it decreases their healing done by 50% and increases their damage taken by 50%. His other ability is called Volley, which you just probably saw. He just launches a volley of arrows in a conal area in front of him. And the first volley is a long distance one. It does 100,000 damage, then it gets shorter, goes to 200,000, then it gets even smaller and goes to 400,000. So once he starts doing volley, you want to run away. And his other main ability that you just saw is called Rain of Arrows. He will do a arrow strike that comes from the sky, and it will attack anyone in that area, and if they do get hit by an arrow or are in that cone or circle, they will be pinned down and they take 30,000 damage every 1 second until somebody destroys that arrow. So you must destroy that arrow if somebody gets pinned down. He's pretty easy. It's kind of the same ability as the first boss. But the ability that stays is the Pillage ability that will have him charge and decrease your healing and increase your damage taken. And once you kill him, we fought Xian of the Endless Shadow. This boss is pretty interesting. His first ability you can see, he will spawn a undying shadow, and it will follow around a player. Kind of looks like a skull. It will chase the player and do 30,000 damage to that player and players within 10 yards, and you must destroy it. Once it's destroyed, it will leave that pool of gray or black gunk, and you just want to stay out of that. So if you have that guy following you, the weird skull, then just run away from the raid and kill it, or have somebody else. Probably the ranged would be the best. And once they start dying, after 30 seconds, they will eventually reform and choose another target. So eventually they'll start overrunning your raid if you take too long. Other than that, he just does other minor damage abilities. But the ability that stays with throughout the fight is the Undying Shadow, so those skulls will stay in the battle the whole time. And the third and final king is Meng the Demented. The first ability you can see is called Maddening Shout, and he puts this on everybody in the raid. It's a pretty interesting ability. It causes 65,000 shadow damage every 3 seconds, but the main thing with this ability is that the only way to get it off of you is that you must take 40,000 damage from somebody else in your raid. So once everybody gets that, everybody has to attack each other and deal 40,000 damage to each other, otherwise you will die just from the debuff. That's his main ability. And as you can see, the fight's getting pretty chaotic because all of the retained abilities throughout the fight are constantly showing up and making it a very mobile fight. Meng the Demented also has a couple other abilities. He becomes crazed, and it increases his damage done. And once he gets to 100 stacks of insanity, it's his buff that he gets, he'll get cowardice, and he will reflect damage, and then once he gets 100, he'll switch back. Other than that, the last boss is pretty simple. The hardest part is just all the other abilities that get retained throughout the fight. Hopefully this guide helped. There's a lot of things going on in this fight, so it's hard to explain, but hopefully it helped, and good luck with your fight.